A cell phone, Facebook, email, text message, a letter. What do all of these things have in common? They're all ways today that people send messages to each other. They're all ways of communication. However, still the best way to send a message or communicate is in person, and that is face to face. And this is why God decided to send a message of love to the world. God sent Jesus, and then Jesus sends us. He sends out his disciples. And that's our task today. Friends, we're reminded in the gospel story we just heard about one important aspect of being a disciple of Jesus. And to represent Jesus in the world, to be a faithful disciple of his, is to be dedicated to the hard work of forgiveness and reconciliation. And in many ways, this is at the cutting edge of the message of Christ. That's what we hear in the gospel today. And so this story presents us with the ultimate example of forgiveness. Reconciliation occurs between the Father and the Son, but sadly it is withheld by the older brother. I'll share with you this cute little story about one of my visits to school to talk with some of the children about this particular gospel story. And at the time when I was talking about it, I asked the kids, these were first graders that I'm talking to, I asked the children the question, who was the most sad or sorry to see the prodigal son come home? And then all these little hands go up, and one little boy just blurts out, the fatted calf. Interesting point of view from the kids. It's not the answer I expected. Of course, we know it was the older brother. When he sees how warmly and forgiving his father is welcoming his younger brother, instead of feeling happy and rejoicing, he's angry, and he refuses to join in the welcome home celebration. What I want us to think about today is this. Forgiveness is about being a home for someone who is wanting to return. And that's what the Father did. He was home for his returning son. And now the Father also has to find a way to be home again to that son who never left but was angry, and he put himself outside the home. Jesus shows us that forgiveness is not easy to do. We know that. But it is part of a circle of mercy. And we cannot fully experience God's mercy and forgiveness unless we are willing to forgive. That's a tall and difficult order at times. In our Mass, in our celebration today, may we find the grace and strength to be a part of God's circle of mercy. Not a vicious circle, but a gracious circle of mercy. That's one of the most important aspects of being a disciple of Jesus.